Our aim is to touch lives in many forms. We go in depth as we focus on true life stories.
Life became pathetic. We ran short of food and water. Indeed, we were looking for death. Death has also rejected us. It was like God has also rejected us. So nothing wanted us.
What's new in the trends as we look at fashion, entertainment, cuisine, games, and more?
Check your body type before you go in for some matters.
So in every aspect of our relationship, you find it funny, right?
Yeah.
Even during
Sex is their food. We have the watermelon type, the apple type, the...
Which one am I?
Pawpaw. I have the pawpaw type. That goes this way.
Okay.
Just stay connected with me on all platforms. Oh, and share that story to be heard by simply reaching out to us on all our social media platforms with the hashtag The Day Show. My guest and I look forward to a date with you this and every Thursday at 9 p.m. as we keep it real, positive, and fun. Time with Bella Mundi on The Day Show is an encounter right here on TV3.
The Day Show with Bella Mundi now shows on Thursdays at 9 p.m. and repeats on Saturdays at 3 p.m. on TV3.
Brought to you by Onga, Mama's Helping Hand.
Auntie, please, it's your daughter. Auntie, my sickness is not leaving me, so I went for prayers at Kaswa. We don't have money to go to any proper hospital, so we were not able to detect it. So, Auntie, please help me. I don't want to die. I beg you.
Every day at TV3 Network, I receive hundreds of messages and phone calls from people in dire need of medical help because they cannot pay their bills. Unfortunately, I cannot do stories to solicit funds for all of them, and this breaks me to the core. In March 2021, I first met Amos at the Greater Accra Regional Hospital. He was suffering from chronic kidney disease.
I have one of the youngest patients, Amos, undergoing dialysis here. Hello, Amos, how are you doing?
I'm fine. I saw that I was not feeling well, and my parents took me to hospital, and I did a test, and they said I have a kidney failure. My parents are forcing to get some money, but still they haven't get nothing yet. So I need your help. I just completed JSS. I'm not sure that I can continue this year.
His family scraped through to pay for dialysis, which cost 360 cedis per session thrice a week. This translates to 1,080 cedis a week and 52,160 cedis a year.
If you say, we
really do incur costs, and I'm appealing to governments to come to the aid of kidney patients.
Kidney problem. No, say no, the
health insurance and cover. It was yesterday. I say,
between February and October last year, for example, we had lost 33 clients because they had no money for treatment. Between October last year and this is February, 5 months now, we, as a center here, have lost a further 12 clients.
Less than 6 months after the interview with Amos, he died. He missed some dialysis sessions because 1,080 cedis a week was hard to come by. In August 2020, I was invited over to Nima by community health nurse Theodora Abaka to meet Firdaus to help raise funds for her to seek treatment for urine incontinence.
Because I cannot go to school because of this sickness. I need help.
Initially, it was like poo-poo and urinate and the urine, but it was the poo-poo was corrected, and now it's left with the urine to be corrected. So we are pleading to the community to come to her aid to support her. Yeah, she will need surgery. We've done one surgery, and we are supposed to do another one. So we are waiting for funds. Without money, we can't continue with the surgery or for the treatment. Yeah.
I asked her family to bring me an official document from a healthcare facility indicating the total cost of treatment. Little did I know that would be my first and last interview with her. Before we could even raise money for her to go to the hospital, Firdaus died. Her parents did not have money to pay for a lab test during an emergency. Her family is distraught.
We did not have money to treat her, so I was taking care of her home. Her condition worsened. She told me she felt like dying at a point. We quickly had to send her to the hospital, but I did not have money to pay for a lab test. Firdaus died just like that.
With her issue, she wasn't having any money, so she was depending on the society for support, and I came in to help them. The support wasn't coming, and even the NHIS doesn't cover most of it, so they even put the NHIS card away, and they were depending on the society for support, and it wasn't coming. I faced a lot of challenges in helping them to get medical treatment. Most of the time, we have to put some of the stories on Facebook for people to come and support, and people even thought it was a scam. But those who believed and knew they could help brought their support for us to help her get medical treatment. I visited her a day before she died. I didn't know what happened. Something was pushing me to come and see her, and I came. Frankly speaking, when I saw her, I knew that, oh, it's just by grace that she might be alive.
Her condition was not covered under the NHIS. Her mother had to rely on the public, friends and family to support her. If we had money, she may have been alive. but God knows best.
No, Ben, so that no see you need be the support. Interphone the every day be a scampod by to a drum pomoje, drum punk, but to Mamma Moja Pamba no cramp, a bin. Into that no colebunu. Or cut the colebo heads no on to moon cover. Into a compound on ye juma. It's 9 days the night will feed the man or then Captain Tamanya me and a day. 18 years. Every pampers, every week pampers ought to know you. Oh, and you.
So did Madame Sarah Ankra. She did not get $30,000 for kidney transplants and died. Collins was buried on Saturday, December 4. He had bone cancer. Unfortunately, he could not raise $25,000 for treatment. After his story aired on TV3, he only had 14,000 cedis, inadequate to start treatment. The list of persons who died while awaiting funds for treatment because the National Health Insurance Scheme does not cover their ailments goes on and on and on.
It's a very disturbing trend and a very worrying situation, but it's not new to us at the GMA. Doctors meet this day in, day out, where for some people of a certain social standing, some disease or diagnosis simply is a death sentence, because if you squeeze them, nothing comes out. And sometimes it's so frustrating. And most doctors will use their money to support with minor things, but when you get something that's running into thousands of dollars, then it becomes like a death sentence, because they will contact family, they'll do everything and nothing comes out. But it's a reflection of what our society has become. Unfortunately, there are no safety nets for the poorest of the poor. And I dare say that some medical conditions, even for a salaried worker, when you are diagnosed with it, it's challenging. And it's not just the poorest of the poor. Some of these people cannot even afford it. Assuming you have a condition that you need $100,000. How many Ghanaians can afford that? So that's where social protection must come in, where safety nets must come in. And I think we have to look at our financing system or models for health insurance. The Gender and Social Ministry will play a role, but the National Health Insurance also has a role to play. Why am I saying that? I think that the National Health Insurance has its coverage plan. Some of these extra expenditures definitely is not something that can be within the plan. It will collapse the system. But if we ask the health insurance to manage any funds for such a purpose, they are experienced in managing health financing. They have solid investment models that can refinance these activities. I think as a society, it's time that we find a way of levying everyone or getting some money from some sort of a tax or some part of the payment from health insurance or some money from this livelihood empowerment against poverty. Some sort of funding must come up. That, I think, the best place to invest it will be the National Health Insurance Authority.
Kofi and his family have traveled all the way from Kintampo in the Bono East region to the Kolebu Teaching Hospital in Accra, their first time, to seek medical help for their daughter with a heart problem. Even money to feed themselves is a challenge. Kofi tells me they've sold all their property. It's risky to appeal for funds on television because his debtors will contact him. He first issues an apology to them.
To all my debtors, I'm sorry. It was not my intention to leave Kintampo to Accra. I needed urgent help to save my daughter.
Kofi needs to raise 800 cedis for the scan, an amount he cannot afford. He needs to feed his daughter. While he's away, His wife resorts to prayer for God to intervene and heal her daughter.
Right now, the money in my pocket does not even amount to 20 cedis. It is 17 cedis. So when this is finished, maybe God will make a way.
Fortunately, the TV3 newsroom raised the money needed for the scan.
Hello. That's saying. Okay, Nyamia, the patcha your clinic na mobile test no. It's almost say 800 Ghana test no. Maybe go into Ochina is a same mobile Ochina. Nyamia Domenia Sikani Biama Monamodia test. 8 million.
In November 2021, I took Kofi and his family to the Akai clinic for the scan.
Nanaya has successfully undergone her scan here at Akai House. Thankfully, Akai House decided to do this for free due to her condition. We are hopeful that from this place we'll go to the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital for further diagnosis from her medical doctor.
Kofi is happy he can use the money raised to feed his family while in Accra. The increase in people resorting to GoFundMe, the media and total strangers has a lot to say about the country's healthcare system.
If it is something that a doctor can treat, normally we would treat. But you realize that most of the ones that come with very expensive pricing, they require either some form of a prosthesis, they require some sort of a medical device to be implanted, or if it's a bone, they will need some metal plates to do, and these things are bought cash on the market. So then how is the doctor going to finance that? If it was just our skill, we are willing to volunteer our skill, and I can tell you a lot of doctors are willing to do these surgeries pro bono, not taking anything. But take somebody who needs a prosthetic valve to place in their heart. You must buy that valve. Somebody needs a pacemaker. We have to buy the pacemaker. Who pays for it? Somebody needs an implant to correct a complex spine deformity. Who pays for that implant? And these are not available here. You have to import them. You know, so I think the public must get it right. Every doctor's greatest joy is seeing their patients getting well. And doctors have donated their own blood to save lives. Doctors have contributed money on the wards to pay for patients. On my ward, even today, we came together, putting money together to help somebody to be able to do an echo. This echo is not being done in the department. They have to go to an external facility to go and do it. If it was available within the hospital, then social welfare and all of that can. But you're going to a private man. The person has a price on it. So we end up putting our monies together. So for those who think that, oh, maybe the doctors are being insensitive, it's far from it.
Between February and October last year, for example, we had lost 33 clients because they had no money for treatment. Between October last year and this is February, we, as a center here, have lost a further 12 clients. Have a heart disease or even a brain disease, you get some help from National Health of this country. But when you have a kidney disease, you are entirely on your own. I hope that this government and the ministry take a close look at the plight of people who suffer from chronic kidney failure.
I'm here at Ashaman to meet a family whose son is in dire need of medical help. A fire accident has disfigured their son, who needs money to undergo surgery. But his mother works at a public lavatory, while his father works as a spare driver at night. They live in this kiosk, and this is all their life savings.
This is all the money I have in the world. I need help to save my son.
As a journalist, I've seen patients with chronic diseases skip doctor's appointments because they simply had no money. I've seen parents resign from their jobs and take loans to pay medical bills. And I've seen others sell their property. But I've also seen some patients get the lifeline needed to save them due to the media and the public's intervention at the last minute. On February 13, 2021, TV3 News broadcast a news item on 20-year-old Vincent Saki, a talented artist and a final year student of the Apam Senior High School who needed 44,000 cedis to undergo an immediate surgery at the Greater Accra Regional Hospital for a brain tumor.
Anyone watching me, it's not by the strength of ourselves, but we hope everything from God will be possible. So if anybody being touched by you can support so, and God will bless that person.
After the story aired on TV3, some individuals and philanthropists donated to pay 44,000 cedis needed for the surgery.
So, Vincent, how are you doing?
I'm fine, by the grace. First of all, I would like to say I thank everybody, and God should bless everybody for the help and the support and the prayers too as well.
What are you looking forward to?
To become the great artist and also help people to know their aims and their aspirations and more.
When you go back home, what's the first thing that you do?
I'll thank God for everything He has done for me. He didn't look down upon me, but He took me in the hands of the devil. And after I think I will go to school, and I'm sure I'm okay now.
The doctors came in to assess him. He's fit and healthy. On March 11, Vincent was discharged from the hospital. He's reunited with his family.
Hey, welcome home. Congratulations.
His family was grateful to all who contributed towards his surgery. God bless everyone who donated towards Vincent's surgery.
Thank you to everybody who supported Vincent to raise funds for the surgery. We are really grateful.
My wife is a teacher, so on the bus to the school, she collapsed, and then they have to rush her to the hospital. Before I got there, the doctor said we have to be referred to 37. The doctors at 37 are saying that for now there is no treatment they can do to rectify the problem unless they perform the surgery on her.
Rejoice, a mother of two, suffered from ruptured right vertebral artery brain aneurysm. The right side of her head was swollen, making her bedridden. The cost of her surgery was 92,220 cedis, an amount her family could not afford. After TV3 News broadcast the news item, Rejoice successfully underwent surgery at the 37 Military Hospital. Today, she's not bedridden. She's here with her husband to say thank you to all those who donated.
By the grace of God, I'm okay now. I'm not feeling any pain anymore. Just that I need some time to recover. I thank God, and I thank those who donated for me. That God richly bless them. They didn't just give me money, but rather they give me life.
by the grace of God, it came out successfully and everything was okay. So from then to now, she's still in the recovery process, and then we'll be coming for review at 37 every week for some time, and then at Uracare once in a month.
Although these are success stories, it is not the media's role to raise funds for patients. The National Health Insurance Scheme is a social intervention program introduced by government to provide financial access to quality healthcare for residents in Ghana. Part of its mission is to provide financial risk protection against the cost of quality healthcare for all residents. Although over 90% of disease conditions are covered under the NHIS, a lot more needs to be done to cover diseases not covered by the scheme. Currently, children battling childhood cancers are to receive a groundbreaking healthcare services following the inclusion of the disease on the National Health Insurance Scheme's benefits package. Turning largely to the media for help shows a healthcare system which cannot provide the best of healthcare services to those who cannot afford it. It is obvious Ghana's healthcare system needs to be fixed. If you have good health, do not take it for granted.